We made it! Welcome back to episode 2 of Chaos Mode. If you're currently looking like this, which you shouldn't be at this point, but nonetheless, this is
the brutal shit, brah.
on the previous episode, which you should definitely go and watch right now. Cut the shit! I see at least 4,000 people here who haven't. We made our way through the desert biome and are now ready to head into the thick forest where Origins bullshit abounds. How do I know this? Well, the level is called Crimson Valley, which is obviously a subtle reference to the fact that someone has put a crimson sentence on my ass. I thought the sequel would be I want to have the fucking I want to 5-star with Kepler and my pixies. Make no bones about it, I had not even gotten a foot in the door before I was unjustly smacked around. It's all killer, no goddamn filler in this mod. And it looks like we're not getting rid of the scorpions anytime soon. And this was made all the more agonizing by the presence of the matriarchs and their comically large offspring. I was having none of this and decided to pull a DJ and call in the Vermin Wehrmacht to try and seal the coffin of the species. Now, if you decide to play this for yourself, I got a free tip for you. Never, ever stack reinforcements at the entrance. Just like an alcoholic dad in the 50s, the matriarchs need a solid target to beat upon. Otherwise, it's just going to multiply. Wait, that last part wasn't part of my analogy, but anyway, you get what I mean, okay? This might seem obvious to you, my dear backseating viewer, but trust me, when Chaos Mode starts unloading all kinds of hogwash on you, all logic is thrown out, and you will start acting like a hooplehead. After experiencing the equivalent of open windows with the lights on in the summer, I managed to get my head on straight and smash the bugs bugging me. And as a side note, with some added street credit, I actually beat the stage on Chaos Mode without shooting a fiery nut. But I think I beat the stage after the Weirdwood was fixed to not deal damage to the scorpions. Oh, and another thing that was added in that update was the removal of the easy access to sentinels. Coziness was crazy fucking pissed. Anyway, let's not get too much into that and just move on. The heroic was kinda same old, except a surprise ambush from the forest, which I of course clutched up with my insane reflexes. You didn't see nothing. Don't tell anybody, this is our little secret. Then I played the Iron and holy smokes was I annoyed. Matriarchs coming from all fronts with nothing but goddamn mages and barracks to defend against them. I was gonna need some time to stew on this, so on I went to Snapmine Bridge, which all in all wasn't too bad. But I was however introduced to a new enemy which made my dig itch badly, and they would continue to do so for the remaining episode. And who knows, maybe the next one too, I wouldn't be surprised. What did kinda pull the rug from out under me was the Bukai Rider showing up early to ruin my day as usual. It was especially bad when they came in with Wasp Queens, which I forgot to mention so far, but we are not getting a break from them either. The Iron featured something I can only describe as Mickey Mouse bullshit, and while that minigame was going on, I had to deal with an unhealthy dose of matriarchs. Now, as you can imagine, dealing with this on a stage designed like this one, while artillery was put on the top shelf, was not going to be an easy task.
Dude, I gotta fucking put up with this shit for fucking another 5 levels in total.
So I had no choice but to stack barracks and let the Savage Hunters have a field day on my ass. But a little bit of micro and some optimal Shrapski managed to clear the house eventually. And this was all topped off with a wiggle of the finest sword on the heroic.
Come on. Give me a rush. Yes! Oh, that's clutch as fuck. Like, this demo sounds fucking amazing.
If you thought there was going to be some funny change to the parasites, you would be absolutely right. It was hysterical indeed, and then this was changed to spawn Reapers, which then would also spawn parasites. Good thing I unlocked the N-word as a little band-aid on the new asshole that was being torn. After being put in my place by the Brazilian Fuerza Aérea, I decided to go for a Pollock strategy, and surprisingly that was actually really effective. I had to clutch up on the matriarchs a little bit, but after getting the Clussy and a Weirdwood to help out, I was just letting them run wild and still handle them in an orderly manner. Then out of nowhere, I was introduced to the first proper flying boss in Kingdom Rush history, which added some urgency to the situation at hand, but I was managing, and thus beat the stage on only my second attempt. The Iron Challenge had me trying out every single artillery combination you can possibly think of. Turns out that this was a trick question in the form of a challenge, because what I really needed was high single target damage. I gotta say, I kinda like how the new Chaos Mode always keeps you on your toes, instead of artillery being the answer every time. Following this eye-opener, I got into my creative corner and showed the Dwarven Bastion some more love. Even the Dark Forge was on the board for this one. However, the Bukai Riders didn't seem to appreciate these educated attempts at making a strategy, so I had to resort to a regular caveman strategy. Imagine how far you savages would have come if it wasn't for your riders. You could have been hanging out with the Saurians by now, but I guess you'd rather want to live in a shed and wipe your asses with bark. That's on you, dudes! Anyway, as the level progressed, I spontaneously upgraded the archers into whatever I needed at that specific point, and it worked out. Oh, how I've been looking forward to this level. Do you know why? It's because I get introduced to this ass clown, who for sure has got some new moves that will make this mod an even bigger pain in the balls than it already is. And yep, he can make zombie gorillions now with double HP, just like zombie savages. And if it wasn't already so, barracks were now completely off limits with the new fissures, and the fact that this King Kong looking hoagie was immune and unblockable. Needless to say that this level was hard. But wait, you haven't seen nothing yet. This was only the tip of the pain in the ass hemorrhoid that this level was. The heroic took it to the next level. My vocabulary doesn't even extend far enough to explain how annoying this was. But let me just say that I dodged it, went for the iron instead. That didn't make matters better, I was at a complete loss with it. So I got out and dodged that one too, and went all the way back to the iron on Crimson Valley. But suddenly, this one seemed like a nice stroll in the park, with your pet boss of course. That's right, I had been blind all this time. Kronan was indeed the hero I needed, but not the one I deserved. But fuck me, did it feel good.
Oh, Kronan saves the fucking day. For once. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Seemingly with no other choice, the heroic was what I had to go for. At least I could get somewhere with it. Not to say that the first 5 waves were easy, but wave 6 was when this truly got asinine. As if the Pokai Riders wasn't irritating enough, the Shamans were now able to buff them too. And may I add that this is especially aids when I also need probably 3 Weirdwoods to clear out all this canoeness. But I guess this is just another thing I have to deal with. You know, just a regular day in my life living on this shithole planet in the year 2024, which I absolutely fucking despise.
No, not the Triders! Dude, how did the Triders spawn? What do you fucking mean? Where did those Triders come from?
And it was in this frustration I declared this to be Durat Hill Outskirts, heroic, all over again. And with this realization, it suddenly became clear to me what needed to be done. The Shrine of Regosnos was indeed a go. Now I don't know if I'm just stupid, but hitting flying enemies with it was pretty dodgy to me. So I decided to just save myself that frustration and deal with them the regular stressful way. But even with this almighty god power straight out of Age of Mythology, I still needed to time my uses correctly, and had to deal with the inevitable zombie gorillions. I damn near lost my mind. I was afraid that even this wouldn't be enough. But somehow, some way, I was able to pull some hidden willpower from somewhere deep inside me, and take a few more losses to finally pull this off. With this victory, my wisdom was restored, and I now figured out how to do the iron. The answer here was pretty simple. Totem of Spirits. This option was always off limits, since no sane person would ever use this in the normal game. But here it has 100% uptime, making it actually reliable. And that was all she wrote. I was wasting no time and got straight to the final level of this goddamn episode. And hoo-wee! Let it be known I was victim to a shack attack on this one. There wasn't even any foreplay. Straight out of the gate, I was being put through the ringer. Shamans from the forest, matriarch spam, escalating formations of Reavers starting from this point onwards. You know what? Spawn in some Sons of Magtans to put pressure on the other side too, will ya? Have some blood tricksters, oh and more matriarchs. Now to make matters worse, there would of course be a difficulty spike at the end too. Starting with the return of the irrelevant as fuck antagonist. What's his name again? I'm telling you, he's just another ham and egg of Westland wannabe. He even turns himself into a demon. Even I wasn't prepared for him to stoop so low, and lost to his conjuring of cheap tricks. And on that note, the actual boss had gotten some more health and armor. And mages didn't seem to quite cut it, so I had no choice, and at this point, apparently no shame either, and busted out the shrine yet again. And I too had heard some whispers straight from the source of the horse, and let it be known that the shrine was going to go. So naturally, I had to host a bachelor party for my boy, and have some fun with him, before it was too late. However, as we have already discussed, hitting flying enemies with it is pretty strange, and even more so with Malaga, as it seems he has a quite small hitbox, so I had to get lucky with collateral damage from hitting ground units. So in the end I didn't really cheese him much, and I just had to isolate him like it probably was intended. And I also had the decency to wait for my shrine to recharge on the boss, even though I had plenty of gold left to sell and buy them. So you know, just letting you know, in my humble ass opinion, I'm playing fair and square. After this whole ordeal, I was finally given some reasonable task, so it was time to kick the feet up and have some fun. Lazy M5 was spotted stealing assets from Ironhide once again, but it did make for a fun little puzzle where it was difficult to abuse artillery and plow through the stage the true chaos mode way, so I played around my necromancers with caution. The heroic was not too much out of the ordinary. The monkeys had figured out how to use the healing staff they had stolen, which caught me off guard quite a few times, until I realized what was going on and went for some more burst damage. On top of this, I even accidentally performed a Sacred No Origins run and felt a sigh of relief washing over me. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.